We all love playing first-person shooters, especially free-to-play ones. So today in this video, I'm gonna bring you guys 30 of the best free-to-play first-person shooter game that you should absolutely try out in early 2024. So this will include some of the brand new games that have released within the last year or so, and also some popular fan-favorite shooters that's still worth playing in 2024, and also gonna include few of the upcoming free-to-play games as well. So whether you like to play casual shooters, competitive shooters, tactical shooters, or even battle royale games, I got you covered in today's video, so sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Alright, starting at number 30, we got World War 3, a free-to-play tactical first-person shooter that kinda had lots of up and down since launch, and nowadays is just hanging on its last breath when it comes to concurrent player numbers. It's honestly not a bad first-person shooter despite having a lot of matchmaking and server issues. If you're into tactical FPS genre, it's a decent game to check out right now. Cryptis is a free-to-play single-player retro-inspired first-person shooter that lets you shoot, slice, and shred your way through hordes of undead creatures with the use of diverse arsenal of weapons. There's tons of enemy and weapon variety, and there are multiple unique combat arenas you can choose. Really fun 90s style first-person shooter, you can try it right now. Despite I put this game so far down in the list, Ironside is actually one of my favorite games which I played over the years. It's a free-to-play futuristic arcade style of a first-person shooter, similar to something like Call of Duty Black Ops 2, with a lot of fun game modes, weapons, and tons of customization. But nowadays the game is bit old, bit outdated, but thankfully the game is still getting new updates, new content to the game, which is really awesome to see. FPS Chess is a game that gives you a very unique experience compared to some of the other games on the market. The game has a nice combination of fast-paced 1v1 first-person shooter experience combined with a regular game of chess, and ultimately you have to duel with your opponent and you have to beat their king in order to win the game. It's completely a multiplayer experience, but thankfully there are still a dedicated player numbers who play this game every single day. If you're just looking for a super fun, super chaotic first-person shooter to play with your friends, Banana Shooter is actually one of my favorite games that I can recommend for you guys. It's a very simple, fast-paced first-person shooter with tons of fun game modes and maps alongside bunch of other cool gameplay mechanics like dash, double jump, grappling hook, and rocket jump. And also you can simply make a custom game, invite bunch of your friends on board, and I'm sure you're gonna have a super fun time playing. TAPG, or also known as Totally Accurate Battleground, is a free-to-play battle royale game where you can play around with a fun, goofy physics and massive arsenal of weapons. Yes, the game had a bit of an issue with the servers about a month ago, but most of the stuff been ironed out. Now the game is fully playable again, which is great to see. So if you decided to jump into it in 2024, there's actually a lot of fun to be had here. One of my favorite single-player games on our today's list is a game called Angerfoot. It's an indie-developed, fast-paced action first-person shooter where you can literally shoot and kick your way through loads of enemies throughout variety of levels, and the art style and the soundtrack in this game is just top-notch. The full release of this game is still coming out in 2024, but you can still download the demo version on Steam as well as on itch.io. Are you looking for a super fun multiplayer Minecraft style first-person shooter to play on your low-end PC? And look no further than Pixel Strike 3D. Man, the amount of weapons, customizations, maps, game modes in this game is quite insane considering it's a very small size game, and absolutely playable on a low-end potato PC or laptop, and the game is also available on Android and iOS. Shatterline has one of the best co-op experience you can have right now on a free-to-play first-person shooter, especially compared with some of the other games on the market. The game also got typical PvP multiplayer game modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Escort, but most of the game mode nowadays suffering from having low player number. But 3-man co-op game modes like Expedition is really shining right now. If you got a couple of friends to play alongside with you, it's definitely a great game to try out right now. Polygon is an extremely unique tactical battlefield style of a first-person shooter where you can play with up to 32 other players online for a thrilling PvP multiplayer action. The game has improved tremendously over the years. Now the game has a lot of variety when it comes to weapons, game modes, and also nice collection of small and also large scale maps which are incredibly fun to play. So if you're looking for a fun free-to-play battlefield-like experience, this game is highly recommended. Alright, moving on to number 20, we got an upcoming free-to-play shooter called Delta Force Hawk Ops. With the release of their recent gameplay trailer, there's a lot of hype around it. It's going to be a free-to-play first-person shooter including game modes like large-scale conquest style mode from Battlefield games and a 3-man extraction mode, and also also a single player campaign mode, which I'm super excited to play. The game is possibly coming out in sometimes 2024, but we haven't had the chance to get our hands-on experience with the game so far. Alright, next up we got a brand new first-person shooter that a lot of you guys recommend me to check out, which is a game called Blood Strike. It's a super fun, free-to-play casual first-person shooter, which include variety of fun multiplayer game modes alongside a massive battle royale mode and a very well optimized game, definitely playable on a very low-end potato system. Right now you won't find the game on Steam. You can download the game through a direct launcher from their website. Despite having insane amount of overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam, we absolutely cannot forget about the popular competitive shooter Overwatch 2. Yes, a lot of people review bombing the game and complaining about its current state, but I would say as a casual player, it's honestly a pretty fun game to play with variety of fun game modes for both competitive and casual players. If you like the game, there is no harm in trying it out. One Armed Robber is one of the most unique co-op first-person game that recently got super popular on Steam, and the goal is very simple. Simply team up with your friend and all you gotta do is pulling off different heists on banks, shops and various type of establishment. But the only catch is you can only use one of your hand, meaning everything is going to be so messy and chaotic. I would say makes this game even more fun to play. Alright, next up we got a bit of an old but still a very popular horror first-person shooter called SCP Secret Laboratory. It's a free-to-play multiplayer horror game where you have to navigate into this secret laboratory and investigate the contaminant breach. You can either play with or against other players, and ultimately you have to fight and survive with every faction. So overall, if you're into these type of horror survival games, you should absolutely give it a try. Alright, looking for the best free-to-play World War II shooter? Look no further than Enlisted. It's a free-to-play squad-based World War II shooter which represents tons of historical maps, great variety of weapons and customization alongside bunch of classic vehicles that you can handle in the battlefield. And also in this game, every given player has their own unique squad which you can customize their weapons, tools and loadout. Overall, it's a pretty fun and casual World War II shooter. Right now you can download the game through their website and the game will be coming out in sometimes 2024 on Steam. Battle Team 2 is a free-to-play, fast-paced multiplayer first-person shooter just like Call of Duty that recently got a global release. I've been recently playing this game and it's extremely fun to play. There are a variety of fun multiplayer game modes alongside a dedicated co-op mode which is basically play like Call of Duty Zombies mode. On top of all that, we got a separate battle royale mode as well. Overall, it's a pretty nice game and definitely playable on a low-end system as well. Alright, next up we got a popular battle royale that some people absolutely hate it, but some people play this game every single day, which is the Call of Duty Warzone. I mean, there's absolutely no introduction needed. If you love Call of Duty, you will enjoy it. Otherwise, you just don't. But it's free to play, available on Steam. Alright, next up we got a brand new super impressive action-packed first-person shooter called Out of Action, and it's a super fast-paced, kind of brutal cyberpunk style of a first-person shooter which is going to come out in sometimes 2024, and there is a lot of hype around this game. But you can download the demo version right now on Steam for completely free, which include both multiplayer as well as single player, which is pretty cool. So absolutely recommend you guys to check it out. Alright, let's say if you have a pretty low-end PC in 2024 but you still want to experience some high-quality Call of Duty style AAA first-person shooters, Combat Masters is hands down the best game. You should absolutely check it out. It's a very popular game among low-end PC gamers, packed with tons of super fun game modes alongside a dedicated battle royale mode which they recently added to the game. So if you haven't played the game yet, now it's a great time to jump in. Alright, if I haven't had this game on our today's list, a lot of people are going to be angry in the comment section. Yes, I'm talking about Team Fortress 2. Honestly, I haven't played the game myself in a very long time, but still a very popular game on Steam. Right now having more than 75,000 plus daily concurrent players, which is absolutely insane in 2024. Moving on to another very popular first-person shooter that we cannot forget about, which is the Destiny 2. It's a free-to-play kind of open world looter shooter style of a game. Extremely fun to play alongside friends, but a lot of people recently complaining about the free-to-play aspect of this game. Meaning if you wanted to enjoy the game, you definitely need to buy the previous expansions or DLCs. So it's kind of a bummer, but nevertheless it's a pretty fun game overall. An upcoming free-to-play shooter that kind of had a lot of hype around, which is a game called X-Defined, but unfortunately we still haven't seen the official release of this game. It's a free-to-play Call of Duty style arcade first-person shooter from Ubisoft, which is supposedly coming out in sometimes 2024. Most of the rumors saying that it's coming out by the end of this month, but most likely it's not going to be the case. But hopefully we will see a full release of this game very soon. If you're into super hardcore military simulation style of a first-person shooters, honestly there is not a lot of option when it comes to free-to-play games, but there is a one that definitely stand out, which is a game called Operation Harsh Doorstop. It's a completely free-to-play sandbox style of a tactical shooter, including variety of stages of war, including like World War I, World War II, Vietnam, modern day combat, including insanely realistic weapon handling and mechanics alongside incredible amount of mod support from the community. So there's a lot of fun to be had here, especially if you're into these type of super hardcore tactical shooters. Halo Infinite is a game that had lots of up and downs since launch back in 2021, but after a lot of updates, sort of fixes, adding new game modes into the game, I would say now the game is in a really good state to play, especially if you're just jumping in for the first time. Alright, moving on, next up we got another super popular sci-fi first-person shooter, which is the Planet Side 2. It's a massively multiplayer free-to-play game that lets you play with up to thousands of players all around the world at the same time in a single server. Despite the game released way back in 2012, it's actually pretty popular even in 2024. Moving on, next up we got the super popular battle royale Apex Legends. Yes, I know the game had lots of issues very recently with the servers, lot of hacking situations, lot of security breaches on their anti-cheat system, but after like 6 years, this is one of the only few battle royale games that's still holding up to this date alongside games like Fortnite and PUBG. Honestly, no introduction needed. Still extremely popular on Steam, having more than 400,000 daily concurrent players. Alright, moving on to top 3, next up we got Valorant. Incredibly popular free-to-play 5v5 competitive shooter from Riot Games. Some people absolutely love this game, but some people just don't. But I would say as a free-to-play player, this game has one of the best anti-cheat systems, so your free-to-play experience is going to be much better compared to some of the other games like Counter-Strike 2. Alright, talking about Counter-Strike, next up we got Counter-Strike 2. Yes, after the release of the massive CS2 update, honestly a lot of people kind of have like mixed opinions about the game. Most people still wanted to play the classic CSGO, but I would say as a casual player, I really enjoy the update. It's definitely not the most easiest game to jump into, especially if you're just starting out, but still an extremely popular first-person shooter in 2024. Alright, at number 1 spot we got Finals, one of the most impressive first-person shooters that I've played very recently. It's an extremely fun, fast-paced arena style of a first-person shooter with incredible gunplay, movement, and completely destructible environment. After the initial launch back in December, the game got so much popular on Steam. It had around 250,000 plus daily players, but nowadays it's kind of dropped down as expected. But with the very recently launched Season 2, they added a brand new map into the game, including solo game modes as well. So if you haven't had the chance to check out the Finals yet, now is probably the best time to jump back in. Well, that's pretty much wrap up today's video, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found some best free-to-play first-person shooter that you should play right now in 2024. And if I missed any good free-to-play FPS games, definitely let us know down in the comment section as well. And finally, guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to go ahead and drop a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 50,000 subscribers. I'll catch you guys soon in my next one. Stay safe.